Hello everybody, this is Jeff Webb and
Mike Parks
for GotBloodOutdoors. We just finished the end of a 2-day gun season here in Ohio for 2011. It was rough hunting and we had to work for every deer that we got. I think there were only 3 deer killed in our party that weekend. And me and Mike were lucky. We both shot a doe apiece. And I mean, look at the size of these does. These are mature does. Looks like 2 young mules hanging here. And we're going to show the beginning hunter how to get this deer skinned down. Now, there's a lot of different ways to skin a deer. There's a lot of different tricks. We've heard the one about the golf ball and the rope, and you put it between the shoulder blades, pull it off with a car or a truck. And I've seen guys use come-alongs. Whatever way works best for you, that's the way you need to do it. This video is not for the experienced hunter because they know how to get the hide off a deer. This one's for the beginner that hasn't got the confidence to do it yourself, and you just need to jump right in there and skin a few of them critters, as Uncle Cash would say, and you'll get better at it as you go. There's really nothing to it. Mike is going to do the demonstration here, and I'm going to try to be the cameraman. And after going through the rigors of this year without a cameraman, trying to do it myself, I'll tell you, I appreciate a good cameraman. So you guys that are running that camera, keep up the good work. Everybody can't be a shooter, but I'll tell you what I found out, everybody can't be a cameraman either. So we're going to turn this thing over here to Mikey, and basically we talk about what to do with the animal once you get him gutted out, and we'll do a little video on that for you later. And the first thing you need to do is get it up off the ground. But yeah, most importantly, have some sharp knives and band-aids. Just bear with us here on these lighting conditions because we're in a little dark garage and the lighting's not very well, so we're going to try to concentrate on getting the best shot for you so you can see what we're talking about. Mike, go ahead and let's talk about how we're going to get that deer up off the ground.
When you first bring the deer in, you want to cut a slit in between the tendon right here, which is right there, and the meat. You just cut a slit through there with a good sharp knife. You can see there that you can put the hook, which is up here. We done the same thing on this one. The hook goes through that and it lifts it up and it'll hang there just perfect. When you go to cut around that to get the hide off, you want to be real careful around that tendon because it has a lot of pressure on it. If you barely touch it with a knife, the deer will fall.
It'll pop just like a balloon, won't it?
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started on the skinning. Once you've got them gutted down, you just really, if you don't cut this all the way through, you just start here and cut that skin through to the butthole where you cut it out. And then you want to take your knife and go up the inside of the leg. Right like this. Go on up to where, about where you want to stop is about right here below the knee joint. And then just be real careful going around it, around the tendon. You can see it there. If you touch that tendon with a knife, it will pop.
Tendon is white. You'll be able to tell the difference. You want to make a circle all the way around the deer's leg. That's the tendon right there he's talking about. That's the tendon
right there. It's really the only spot you have to be careful with. Now you can just take your knife all the way around the bone. Right like this. And you can start peeling it down. This one leg. You can pretty much peel it with your hand a little bit.
Try to help hold the deer while he's doing this and film at the same time.
Get it started down. Pull on it. Come back around here. And just start skinning the leg out. And then go to this side. Same thing.
And guys, you'll be able to tell the difference between meat and hide. Yeah. Believe me, you.
If you get a little meat on there, it's not a big deal. You just have to cut it back off.
And hair, I haven't figured out a way yet to skin one down without getting a little bit of hair on it. So you can always pick that off when you're deboning the meat. When you're boning the meat. Deboning, that's like saying unthaw.
Then you come to this side. Same thing, just go right up the inside of the leg with your knife. Try not to get down into the meat real far, just right under the skin. Come on out. On this leg, you don't have to worry about the tendon so much.
Yeah, he just cut that open to show you exactly how to do it. On this one, it really doesn't matter if you cut the tendon. I wouldn't advise doing it, though, because we have seen tendons pop, and you've got to use this other leg. Right, Eric? My brother-in-law popped one day on me. I give him grief every time I see him.
Ka-thump.
Yeah, and it hit the ground. And he said, I just barely touched it.
Well, a good sharp knife, that's all it takes. Just keep skinning her out. Careful not to take too much meat with it. You can get these big does got some good tough skin on them. Have some milk in her sack a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see, cut this out here. Get that off there. And spin it around a little. Just take it right on down. Oop, missed a little meat there. Getting around to the fatty area of the leg now. It's a little bit harder to skin.
We've noticed that a lot of these deer we've killed this year have a heavy fat deposit, big thick layer. Some of them almost an inch thick, all over. So these deer are healthy. They've been eating good.
And it's probably going to be a good hard winter.
That's what they say. That if the deer are fat, and I've even heard guys that raise horses tell me the same thing, that if the horses lay a real heavy coat on for the winter, it's probably going to be a doozy. So we'll find out.
Let me step over here. Hold that leg right there if you can. Just keep on coming on down with it, a little bit at a time, until you get to where you can jerk it down. That meat really hangs onto that fat.
That fat is
tough. Go back here.
And you can go ahead and cut that fat off, because
Yeah,
I don't think it has absolutely no taste. It's there just for the deer. So, you know, it's not going to help you to keep deer fat on your meat.
No.
You can discard that. What Mike's doing now is he's trimming down the back of both the rear legs, and he's down to the anal cavity there, the butthole, and he's getting ready to cut that tailbone so he can work the hide down across the back.
When you cut the tailbone, just go right here at the very base of the tail. Just cut it in there. You'll feel the bone. You want to give it a good jerk.
I'm going to have to cut her a little bit more on that one. That fat's holding it good.
Right there it was, the joint. Now the tail's loose. Have to skin it down a little bit. There. Let me go around on this other side.
Okay.
Skin this down a little bit. Over here. Going off there.
He's just doing the same thing the other side that he did to this side.
Now once you get it down a little bit, you can put your knife down for a second, and you should be able to pull it down quite a bit.
And this is just a little bit of sweat off the brow here. You just got to muscle it down. Little bit of elbow grease.
These big does their skin's on there really good. Just have to do a little bit at a time. Go around on this side. Get a hold of the fur. It's easier if you twist it up so your hands are on the fur gives you a little better grip. Jerk it down as far as you can go. It'll get tough on you, and you'll have to cut a little bit. It's about where I'm at now.
All right, he's getting ready to go to his knife now, and you'll see that right at the edge where the fat and the meat meet the hide, there'll be small. It's a membrane. It's a fibrous membrane there, and that's just basically what's holding it together. And you just have to barely touch that, and it comes right apart. And it's actually almost better to do this part with a dull knife, I've found.
Let me spin it around.
Yeah.
I'll start on this side. Just get walking around this deer. Alright, I'll start on this side. Right here. That membrane comes right off there. You just barely got to touch it. Especially if you're putting pressure on it. You got to pull down. You got to pull down on the fur at the same time you're cutting it with your blade. And the fur will just come right down with you.
And once you get it this far, guys, you've just about got it licked. I mean, it's the same process all the way to the ground. You know, once you get it up to the front shoulders there around the neck, you can cut that head off and you can start getting busy with it.
Yeah.
He's just going all the way around the deer. I'm going to ring the deer on this side now, which is, this is not the side that's got the best lighting, but just to let you know. And probably what I'm going to do now is shut the camera off and help him peel this down a little bit more, so we can get to the next the neck part, because basically it's the same procedure all the way down, taking the hide off.
This deer has a good healthy fat deposit on it from this year. I mean, it's an inch thick on its back, and that's no good to use in your meat. Definitely don't want to cook with that in your meat. It gives it a real gamey taste. The best thing to do is just peel it off. It's not hard to peel it down. And
you've got to peel that down before you can get to your back straps and everything, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, you have to peel it off. It comes right off real easy. You can see it just peels right off. And you always want to peel that off before you go to get in your back straps. That's what that is right there. To get to that, you got to get all this meat off, all this fat
off.
That's a good,
it's a
healthy
big chunk.
layer of fat.
I'm telling you, she was getting ready for wintertime, people.
Yeah, for hard winter.
And it amazes me how an animal can survive out in the wild and in the cold the way they do. And it just goes to show, you know, that they probably don't experience pain and sensations like we do, because they're so much tougher than we are. They can do amazing things, you know. Their muscles are stronger, they're faster. It's just amazing the way the good Lord put these animals together. They can survive things that a man just cannot tolerate. I know if I got shot with a deer slug, I wouldn't run 50 yards. and I sure wouldn't stand there like I hadn't been shot.
That is some thick fat. This deer might have more fat than I've ever seen on one.
I'm telling you what, boy, she's got a coating.
Healthy layer.
Look at that. That's at least an inch. Maybe an inch and a half even, I'd say, yeah.
Inch and a quarter, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fat.
Too bad you can't use that.
You'd think we ought to be able to come up with something to use that in coyote bait or something.
Yeah.
You know, we ought to think about that.
Sure,
that might make a good base or something.
Yeah, it's a good healthy fat.
It's pretty. It's clean. It's white.
Marble.
But it has no taste, absolutely no taste whatsoever. Just wild.
Deer skin down to the front legs, which you can see here. You can feel it. The front leg actually comes all the way up into here. But once you get it down about halfway down the leg, you can see the joint right there. You want to just cut the skin right down the leg. You cut right through there. You can see. And then get your point of your blade in there and just go right down the back of the leg. Out to the joint.
That'd be the underside of the leg he's talking about.
Then ring the leg with your knife. And you can skin the leg out from there.
I'll try to hold it a little bit for you.
And skin the leg out. Starting on one side. Get it down and around. Go to the other side. Try to get my arm out of the way here. Skin it on around. Like so. Right around to the neck. And that's the leg. Go ahead and take this.
You can look at the trauma of what these new deer slugs will do to a deer, boy, and it's just 1,000 wonders that they even stand there and look at you after they're shot. Most of them run, some of them fall, but...
Same thing on this side. Cut down the skin that you've got down. Stick the point of the blade in. And go right down the inside of the skin. Right
anytime
there.
you're messing with real sharp knives like this,
Ring
people, be careful.
Ring the leg. Right like that. I still didn't get it. There we go. Yes, very careful. This here's got some long fur. Lots of fur. Right down the inside.
When you're doing this, guys, just jump on in there. You're going to make a few mistakes, but you learn every time you do it.
Yep.
After you do 2 or 3 of these, you're going to see there really isn't that much to it.
Okay. You just keep on skinning it down, hitting that.
A lot of guys just don't want to get their hands dirty, but I'm telling you, it'll wash off.
Yes, it will.
It's either that or you can pay that processor
$100.
$100 or more to do this for you, and I just haven't got that kind of money laying around. You know, that I can pay $100 for every deer that I kill, because between Mike and me, you know, we're going to kill half a dozen deer a year. Sometimes, you know, we'll kill our limit. And, you know, thanks to the bow tags, State of Ohio's made it possible for a man, if he's in the right area, to kill 6 deer a piece, you know, in a year.
And we normally do that about every year.
Yeah, about every year we get anywhere from 9 to 10 or so deer, sometimes more. Depends on how many deer you got running around.
Yeah.
But, you know, we eat a lot of deer meat, and we give a lot of deer meat away to people that can't get out, you know, and hunt the deer, and to some of the old timers, and a lot of people are really interested in how it tastes. You know, they want to try it, and I think that's good public relations when you do that. And as far as feeding the hungry, well, you know, right here's one of the answers, people.
Yeah.
If you've got too many deer, there's people hungry. They'd like to eat them. Same with this hog problem that they're talking about in the United States. Yeah, start eating them. You know, that'll take care of your hog problem. Feed the hungry.
You can get down to the neck here. Right here where the head is. Just go ahead and ring it. Ring the neck. That's about good, and then you just want to twist it.
You want me to hold the deer, Mike, while you twist off, or can you get it without?
Trying to see, I gotta cut through this tendon all the way through this.
I'll get a hold of one of these legs here.
Let me find the right spot.
This is a Mike's Park special, so if you want to use an axe or a hatchet or a pair of loppers or anything like that, be our guest. I tend to just like to hack through them with a Bowie knife or something, you know. Anything will work.
If you can find the joint, that's the main thing. Let's see if I can twist it. Get it twisted off there.
Harder to break a neck than you think, y'all.
Yes, it is.
I didn't like in the movies. You're going to go at it a different direction here. There's the windpipe right there you're looking at that you cut earlier. If you use our little tricks.
Get in there. Just cut it. Get them tendons that are in there. And then it'll normally twist off. If you get her cut down good. Let's see here. Let me get this fur. Spin it around.
There it is.
Pops off.
Head and hides off. Make sure you get your tags, guys, off of this animal before you get rid of your hide and your head if you're not keeping anything. I've seen them burnt in a fire pit before, or just throw it away accidentally. And that's it right there. What he's going to do now is, I mean, normally when we start quartering these up, he's going to
cut the legs off.
Cut the legs off. Bottom and top.
Go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Go ahead and cut your tendon. Just wring your leg. And if you've got a good thick knife, you can just whack that bone right there. Crack it.
There you go.
And just pop it right off.
That's a field expedient method, believe me, it works.
You can do it on the front legs also. Go right around. Don't use the blade side, it will chip your blade.
It'll mess your knife up.
Hit that bone right there, you can hear it. Just crack it one time. Y'all. And just cut the tendon.
Just a little bit of technique. Little trick of the trade.
Both sides.
Show it to you again.
Cut that meat. Right there's your bone. Sometimes it takes a whack or two to get it. And sometimes it don't break in your exact spot. You just got to go up the bone. Cut the meat off. And there it is.
Alright.
And that's
your last leg, you all. He's hanging by that. That's the last piece you take off the deer. When you get done quartering this deer up, you should just have that one rear ham hanging right there. And I think you can deal with him from there.
Yep.
But this is it. And
that's pretty much in a nutshell how you skin a deer.
Now you can tell that it just takes a little bit of elbow grease. You know, you just got to get down there and do it.
Yeah.
We don't consider ourselves experts, but between me and Mikey, we've skinned a few deer, and we've been lucky enough to watch Uncle Cash and some other guys that know what they're doing, so we can at least get one taken apart and ready for the grinder to go in the freezer. We'll be shooting some more little videos to you, you know, about how to process your animal a little bit and what pieces to cut out, how to work with it in the field. Like I said, this is for the beginner. Need to know that when we hunt, you know, we're out there for the fellowship. We're seeing our uncle and a lot of these guys that, you know, may not be hunting, you know, in a few years. And we also this year have had some young boys with us, you You know, it's not uncommon for us to hunt with a 14, 15-year-old boy or 16-year-old, but this year we had an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old with us, and it's the next generation of hunters. You know, they're with their dads, they're sharing experience, and whenever they saw the game running by them, you could see the sparkle in their eye, and don't think for a second that them young boys didn't realize what we were out there doing. They knew that we were hunting the deer, and they were hunting the deer with us, and they were biting at the bit to get old enough to get that gun in their hand and go out and kill that first big buck. So the important thing is to pass it on. We can't let traditions like this die. You know, man proliferated by hunting and before the agriculture come in, and it's one of those things that we don't want to forget how to do it, you know. All right, y'all, that's basically it in a nutshell. You know, we've got the hide off of it for you. Get out there and give it a shot. It always helps if you can get somebody that's done it before to be standing right there with you and giving you some pointers and helping you out a little bit. But that's why we've made the video. We've had guys asking us to make this video, and you know, we've got muzzle loading season left in January. Me and Mike haven't decided if we're going to participate in that yet or not, because we've got quite a few deer down. Mikey's still down a few deer though. I think he's going to kill a few more. And he's still hunting this big buck that's haunting him, you know, so he's going to be out and after him. And if we get that buck, we're going to do a video on how to cape him. So, you know, just stay tuned, subscribe to us at GotBloodOutdoors. We're avid bow hunters, but we do gun hunt too. So remember, when you pull that trigger or you let that arrow fly, always check the ground. Make sure you got blood. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one and go kill a big one. This stuff's great to eat. That's why they call it the king's meat.